Hello. Today we are talking about another paranormal ritual. This one is light as a feather, stiff as a board. Now this ritual I have performed before and on multiple occasions. This was a ritual that my sister introduced to me because she found it oddly fascinating. And even just this last day, she told me to do this as a video topic and was thinking, that there is no darker side to the story. But I was not surprised to find out that there actually is a darker side to this ritual. Much like Bloody Mary, this is a ritual that is pretty well known and is associated with slumber parties. You've probably played this game or know someone who played this game. It was also well known for the scene in The Craft. So if for some reason you haven't played this game or know someone who's played the game, you've probably heard of it from that at least. Much like Bloody Mary, this game has gone through the grapevine, and so we've kind of lost a big component of this ritual. But light as a feather, stiff as a board is a ritual performed with the intention of making one player levitate off of the ground. That's pretty much it. When I played this game, we, could play with any number of people as long as you had at least 3, so that you had 2 people trying to lift. And all we did was say light as a feather, stiff as a board, and with the intention of, we're gonna lift our friend up. There appears to be 2 main variations of how you play this game. In the one, you call forth spirits to lift and heal this person's body. In the other, you are killing them. Now, that seems a bit more dangerous than we all assume, doesn't it? Now, the version where you kill the player seems to be the original version of the game, and the version where you call the spirits in is not that different. So I will be covering the steps of the killing version and then just throw in how you would call the spirits in. What do you need in order to play this game? Traditionally, at least 4 people, although as I said before, I had attempted to play this game with only 3 players. Optionally, you may want to have blankets and pillows to lay on the ground in case the person does levitate and then fall back down suddenly. So how do you play this game? You have the liftee, so the person that you will be levitating, lay flat on their back with their arms crossed over their chest. The lifters, so everyone else, should position themselves at either side of their bodies, starting with each shoulder and then each knee, and then they said the next would be the head. So I assume you can add on an extra player and have it at the feet, or extra people along the body as needed. You place only your index fingers under the person, which when I played this before, I think we used index and middle finger. So you place only the index fingers under the person and attempt to lift them in order to show how heavy the person is and how you cannot lift them. Now, if you are calling spirits in, everyone would go to the head, put their hands there, and call those spirits forth in order to lift the body up. Then you would go into your chant. If you're doing the killing version, you remain in your place and you begin the chant. So you may either have a leader that starts the chant off and then the other players echo, or you all repeat the chant at the same time. If you're playing the version with the spirits, you do just repeat light as a feather, stiff as a board. If you're playing the version where you killed the player, then you will repeat phrases such as these 3 times. She's looking pale. She's looking worse. She's dying. She's dead. Light as a feather, stiff as a board. In this sense, you're saying, she has died, and that is why she is light. Although you could see this also as her spirit rising out of her body, or rising to a new height and new life, depending. And that the player is dead. Light as a feather, stiff as a board is repeated in unison as you lift them up and as you raise them back down. Now, if you killed the person, you've simply risen them up and lowered them back down. But if you got spirits into their body, you need to make sure that you let these spirits know that their time here has ended. You need to tell them goodbye and thank them. Otherwise, you may be leaving these spirits in this person's body. So, just keep that in mind. I also find it interesting that in the death version of the game, there's no final step to bring the dead person back to life. You would think that, like with the spirits, you would have an end step to say, oh, we are now bringing them back to life. But essentially, you are killing your player and leaving them dead. Unless the rising really is a representation of a resurrection, which ties into the origins of this, what I will get into for just a second. But you would think that they would chant, oh, they are well again, or I see her coming back, or something. And if I did play this game now, that's probably what I would do, is lead the end of, oh, I see them coming back, oh, I see her growing more colorful, or something like that. The origins are unclear. Folk historians do not know where this game actually came from. But the earliest recording of the game was from July 31st, 1665, in the entry of the diary of Samuel Pepys, who mentioned a scholar named Brisbane who witnessed 4 children kneeling around a boy. They whispered into each other's ears before lifting him up with 4 fingers. He submitted the following incantation to Pepys, which translates to, "Here lies a dead body, stiff as a stick, cold as marble, light as a spirit. Rise in the name of Jesus Christ." So we have a allusion to Jesus Christ. With that, we have Christ rose up on the 3rd day, which again we have 3, which you repeat the chants 3 times. So I could see how this could come from that. And the timing of this observation was during the Great Plague in England, when millions of people were dying. The way that historians have looked at this is that this was a sort of reassurance to the children to say, hey, look, our friend has died, but they have risen up again. In this way, the game is a light in the darkness. But still, the act of pretending to be dead does not sit well with me, especially with the other variation involving calling spirits into your body. Intention holds strong power, often more power than we can foresee at the moment of that intention. Although unlikely, is it not possible that playing this game could call in spirits who actually kill the player? Even because they believe that is your wish, or else just because they take the game as open permission to do so. Therefore, although I have always believed this to be a harmless paranormal game, I now caution you to play this and to use protection beforehand if you do so. That said, let me know in the comments below if you have had any strange experiences while playing this game. And again, if you have a paranormal game request, let me know in the comments. I look forward to hearing them.